Hey everybody, happy Friday. Mike here with Imperial Tropicals. Leave me a comment, guys, if you can hear me okay. You might hear some fan noise in the background. We're in the back of one of our greenhouses. We are looking at some Ocellaris Peacock bass. These are our breeders in one of our large tubs. We just pulled eggs on from these guys today, and they've been pretty feisty. Let's see. You can see already he's getting ready. He's being very protective. He wants to bite me. They're very mad. We took their eggs earlier today, and they are just zooming there. They're really upset with me. Hello, Kim. Thank you for letting me know, Ruben. Guys, if you like these fish, give us a thumbs up. Look how aggressive these guys are. They're so ticked off. He wants to bite me. He wants to protect his territory. He's got his lady down there, down low. So they had a bunch of eggs today. We just um, we just pulled them, probably anywhere from 300 to 500 eggs. Pretty cool. Uh, I'm just super impressed with how protective these guys are being. He is mad. So this is pretty cool, guys. Today I'm gonna go over the sale items. Here's the big tub. It may not look like much, but these guys are happy, healthy. They constantly getting fresh water in this tub, always breeding. We're here in one of our greenhouses. This is greenhouse number 4, where we breed all of our rainbow fish, and we raise up some of our fry that we breed in our breeding room. Right here, guys, real quick, I'll just give you a quick sneak peek at some rainbow fish fry. Now, these guys are going to be incredibly small. So these are just going to be a couple days old. If you guys can see them in the corner there. So yeah, guys, this is really cool. And all of our rainbow fish, guys, start just how any other hobbyist would breed angelfish. So we breed them with spawning mops, and we raise them up in these styros until we get enough to put into a pond. And you can see there's just little baby rainbows all throughout this tub. That's pretty cool. But anyway, guys, today we're going to go over some sale items. We are going to do the $25 giveaway for our YouTube subscribers and our Facebook watchers. So to enter that, all you have to do is comment later when we are actively doing our giveaway. Um, since we're walking by, the stuff these looks pretty good. These are the Abe's Creek Bosemani. This is one of our breeding groups. And they might not look too large to the camera, but these guys are full size. They're just around 4 inches. Next door, we do have some Tropheus Du Bois breeders here with an albino plecto underneath of them. So, guys, today also I want to go over our sale items for the week. Just as a friendly reminder, those sale items will start at 1 o'clock today, and they will run until next Friday at 1 o'clock. So that is going to be a full week of those items being on sale. And then also, I wanted to make one other quick announcement. Let me flip this around, guys, and we'll talk about it. We got something cool going on here. I'm actually really excited. So let's turn this camera around. And then I'm going to get to some comments. So I haven't really had a chance to read some comments. So, guys, we have some new products. Let me grab them. Sorry for the flattering shot there. So we have back in stock. We haven't had these in years. Super excited. All the employees got some. We got some Imperial Tropicals koozies. So these are up on the website right now. They're $1.99. Here's a reference for you. They'll fit a standard size can. You can put them on like a larger, taller can, but they're just like a standard size koozie. They don't hold the form. They fold flat, just for your reference. But super excited about these to get some Imperial Tropical swag. And then also down here, we have, these are new to us, Imperial Tropicals pens. So we have them in 3 colors. We have the dark green, we have the dark blue, we have black, and then we have the kind of neon green. All of them have our logo on it. You can see that, hopefully. Hopefully it's not blurry for you. So all of them have the logo, and all of them write with black ink. So whichever color you buy, if you buy them, they are just black ink. And also, those are $1.99 as well. So pretty excited. Really excited about the koozie. These come really in handy, especially on the farm. It's really hot. Helps keep our drinks colder and longer. And yeah, and it's always just nice to have swag for a company or anybody or anything you support. So pretty excited about that. So guys, we're also gonna go look at some fish in the ponds. We're gonna go feed a couple, and just we're gonna drive. We're gonna see what looks good, and then I have 2 ponds in mind that we are gonna feed. We might be able to towards the end get into the warehouse and look at some fish. I did already see a couple people at the very beginning asking to see some fish. And if we don't get to it, I'm sorry. There's always next week, but I know we don't show out here very often, and a lot of people really enjoy it. So I'll turn you guys back around. We'll go for a ride. I'll try to read some of your comments as I go, and you guys can just enjoy the scenery, see what the rest of our facility looks like. Let me see here. We got a posted comment by Carly here. So Steven says, I'm going to have OB Peacock babies in about 21 days. Should I grow them out in a 20-gallon long or bigger? How should I do it? Okay, I didn't mean to Carly, you can post that back if you would like. So I would recommend when you pull the fry, they're incredibly tiny, and they aren't very efficient at finding food. Until they can free swim, I like to keep them actually a smaller amount of water. So a 10-gallon works really good. And you want to make sure you don't have too much flow. The more flow you have, the more those fish are going to have to burn energy to fight against that current to get the food. So I would highly recommend starting in something like a 10-gallon, especially with only 21 days old. So those guys are probably pretty good at free swimming at that point. So if they're ready and they can free swim, a 20 long is a good starting point. But you're gonna want to keep leveling up in gallons. So the longer time you keep them in a smaller amount of water, the slower they're going to grow. But usually the insides of those fish, like the organs, will continue to grow and the outside of the fish will not. So to combat that, you can do it for a little bit, more frequent water changes as they grow, but that is not a long-term solution. So 20-gallon long would be sufficient. It sounds like they're 3 weeks old at this point. They should be free swimming, and you should be able to do that. So let's turn you guys around, and let's go look at the farm part of this fish farm. This is where I started, guys. 8 years ago, I started out here working in the farm, working in the field, cutting grass, feeding the ponds, seining the ponds. Here we have a very large banana tree in one of our ditches. So yeah, we as the farm has grown a lot, I have been lucky enough to have the opportunity to grow here as well. So it's been awesome. Let's just go for a little bit of a ride. We can go check out our smaller tractor with one of our pumps on it on the way. You can see one of our ditches here. So as we are as we drain ponds down, we pump our water into our ditches, which helps keep fish on our property and doesn't allow for any invasive species to escape. So yeah, here is the tractor here. So a lot of you guys are probably familiar with our process. What we do is we breed most of our fish indoors, and once we have enough and they're large enough, we will introduce them to one of our ponds, and that is where we grow them up. Depending on the fish, depends on how long they're going to be in our ponds. See, this pond is set up to be brought in next, and as I sit here, I see what I believe to be, you guys probably won't be able to see them, but right here I can see a bunch of fish. They're posting up. They think I'm about to feed them, and I do believe they are wolf cichlids, or that's the Parachromis dovi. I'll throw some food, guys. You probably won't be able to see much on these particular fish because they're not very bright in color, and I realize there's going to be a lot of glare. So, but we'll try. We'll try to see these guys. There are a few fish I do have picked out that I know you'll be able to see. So let me throw some food in there. Let's see if you guys can see any action. I'll try to get closer for you as well. Now I can see the fish really well, guys. They are all just gobbling it up as it sinks, but none of them are coming up top. And right now, there's no like really big males in this group, so they're all about 4 to 6 inches that I can see. But unfortunately, those guys aren't showing up. But I do have a couple ponds where we're definitely going to see fish out here today. I do know some of these ponds were just fed as well, unfortunately. Usually we feed these fish early in the morning. Typically here in Florida, although these fish are tropical, naturally they don't like to come out in the heat of the day to eat as much as they do earlier in the morning. So when it's 95 to 100 degrees outside, it's very important for us to feed these fish early in the morning to make sure that they are getting what they need, because when it's really hot, they kind of feel lethargic and they don't want to come out and eat. Okay, so Zen Aquatics has a good question, and actually I have an answer. I don't know if they're online, but I do know we do have some pinstripe Damba. They are probably about 2 inches, and we don't have that many, maybe like 15, but I did see them. Their tank was being cleaned yesterday, and they actually got moved to a different tank. So if they aren't available in this moment, they might be shortly. So keep your eyes out on that. And also, if you haven't, make sure you sign up for email notifications on that size. So whatever size you're interested, sign up for that. But if you just are interested in getting anything you can get, sign up for that notification on all sizes. That way, when we put them in stock, you for sure get that notification. So we're getting closer to another pond that I wanted to feed, and that is going to be our green Texas pond. It's the green Texas are one of the fish that we actually just let them breed in the pond, and we collect them as we need them. They're one of the few fish that we do that with. Most of the fish here, like I was saying earlier, we breed indoors, and then we grow the fry out outside. James, so we do have a GoPro here, but I do not use that. Um, our cameraman, he does a lot of underwater footage for us, but he does a lot of shorts. It's not something that I would consider using for the live stream, because I could even put this phone underwater It is waterproof up to a certain point, and I could film underwater for you guys. But the problem is the quality of the audio greatly drops because the water ends up getting in the microphone, and then it causes issues, and it makes it really hard for you guys to hear. I sound very muffled after that point. But yeah, we do have some underwater footage out there already, and it's just the quality of the sound goes pretty quickly, which makes kind of ruins the whole point of a live stream. All right, so Jose Torres has a good question. Do we keep more than one species per pond? And that is, I believe that's, let me double check that. You keep more than one breed of fish per pond. Yes, so we do, depending on the pond. We do, and we call that polyculturing. So we will have multiple species of fish in a pond, but it's very important to us that we know exactly which fish those are and that they cannot hybridize or crossbreed with each other. So things like these, for example, we're not seeing them. They're actually over there on the other side of the pond where I just threw the food over here. Um, these are green Texas cichlids. So with these guys can be pretty aggressive, but what we do is we will add a live bear on top of them. So we'll have the green Texas cichlids with, let's say, green swordtails or neon swordtails. Now, we only do that with fish that we know can breed enough to sustain their population, because inevitably the green Texas, a bigger fish, they're naturally predatory. They could pick off, and they will pick off babies of that fish. So we're very particular on which fish we put together. Now let's talk about an African cichlid pond. Now, if we're having an African cichlid pond, we will raise one species of peacock with one species of haplochromis. We're very particular on which two species we will put together, and we make sure that they look different enough so when we collect them out of the ponds, there's no confusion or accidents with hybridization. And also, we will also throw in our mabunas with these fish if they do go to the pond. A lot of times our mabunas don't go to the ponds because they grow so much faster and they just don't really need access to a large pond to grow quickly. And typically our mabunas we sell mostly at like a 1 to 2 inch size. We do offer them at larger sizes, but most of the time what sells most for us, most popular, is the 1 to 2 inch. So thank you for that good question, Jose. So over here is pretty cool. This is nice little area where we have some fruit trees on the farm. Um, we have, I know you guys aren't plant people, but we have strawberry guava over here. It looks like we have some mango trees that were freshly planted within the last year or so. And there's a couple other species of trees, I'm not too sure, but there is a nice little area that we dedicate to for Mike and his family where they can grow some fruits, citrus trees and whatever else. All right, guys, so we are going to go, it might get a little windy, and I apologize if it does. We're going to go over to a fish that I know you're definitely going to be able to see. They're one of our more popular fish, and that is going to be the electric blue acara. Now, these guys just glow in the ponds. Hopefully, they're still hungry because I know they just got fed, but knowing electric blue acara, they're just going to come right up. They're like puppy dogs for us. So, yeah. All right, let's see. Let's stop here in a second and read this comment. Got any rainbow ponds? We do. We do have some rainbow ponds, but they aren't one that you can really see. So rainbow fish are known to be incredibly slow growers. So it's important for us to try to get these into the ponds as quickly as possible to make them grow faster. So let's talk about what makes the fish grow so much faster in the ponds. they have like unlimited access to natural food. We're here in Florida. We have all kinds of rotifers, scuds, just little bugs, nymphs from dragonflies. All these things grow naturally, or um, they all end up in our ponds. Also, they get fed once a day by our employees here, and then also they have and I mean like these. I don't know how big these look, but these are anywhere from, depending on the pond and how deep they are, they're anywhere from 10 to 30,000 gallons, and they get water changes. Whether it's hot, they're getting water ran on them. If it's cold, they're getting water changes. The water helps us regulate temperatures. Also, when it rains, they're getting a water change. Right now, we're just running a little bit of water on this pond. You'll see. So right here, the water is coming from our deep well. And this is just a small amount of water, but it adds up, and it's cold water. It's coming in about 72 degrees, helps maintain water temperature of the ponds. Um, so I'm not seeing any fish here, guys, and I'm very surprised. Um, I'm just gonna double check. Yeah, so this is one of our electric blue acara ponds. So here, this is pond number 30, and these were put out. Well, we don't have a date on the electric blue cars, but we do have a date on the green swordtails. So the green swordtails were put out May 28th of this year. So those guys, I actually see some of them. They're down here at the bottom. You're not going to be able to see them, but let's see if I can entice some electric blue car to come up here. You guys will definitely see them if they come. So yeah, guys, any other questions about these ponds, let me know. And also, let me check the time. So we are getting close. So I'm going to start the giveaway right now, guys, and then we'll come back to it before the end of the stream. And then we're going to go over some sale items. So let's do the giveaway, guys. Today, pick a number 0 through 200. There will be a Facebook winner, and there will be a YouTube winner. Please, one guess per person. If somebody on the same platform guesses the same number as you after or before you, please make one more guess. You're more than welcome to do that. And so whoever gets closest to the winning number without going over will be the winner. So let's go, guys. Go ahead and start. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. It is actually probably too warm right now, unfortunately, so I am not seeing any of these electric blue car. Normally they all come flying up here and they just start begging for food. I do see some swordtails down at the bottom, but I know you guys aren't going to be able to see with the glare. But we will drive and see if we do see any other fish that stick out. And I am going to talk about this week's upcoming sale. So I don't want to. Well, actually, I'm just going to ask, guys. I wasn't going to ask because I don't want to crowd up the chat, but I'm going to ask anyways. How are you guys liking these BOGO sales? I think they're awesome. I see them really taking off. People are really, really liking the BOGOs over the 50% off. So, like last week, I saw some BOGOs on some peacocks and some haps, and those things were just flying out the door. So you would buy one male peacock, you'd get one for free. I did see some confusion, so I can go over that real quick. If you guys are looking to, let me turn this around since I'm just going to be talking. No, I'll just leave it, guys. Well, okay. So there was some confusion with the BOGO items. So for BOGO items, we make a brand new listing on our website just for that week for that sale. So it's just going to say BOGO, and then it's going to say the name of the fish. And then once you go to purchase the fish, you're going to see a price with a slash through it, and then you're going to see the now price. That now price is the price you are paying for two fish. So if you're on the BOGO listing and you see it says was $160, but now it's $80, you are actually paying $80 to receive two of those fish. The reason it looks odd is because for our website to recognize that that is a sales item and to make it appear on our sales page so it's easy for you guys to find, we have to falsely change the price to show as double. So then it marks it down to the correct price and shows up on the correct page for you guys to see. So we aren't like jacking up our prices to charge you guys what seems like more to get that BOGO item. We're actually just doubling it, and then you are receiving both fish for the price of one. So if there is any confusion, feel free to email us about that. Do know that we aren't here on the weekends, so some of us are on our Facebook page, the Imperial Tropicals Facebook Keepers, and we tend to try to answer our questions as soon as possible when we see them like that. So just keep an eye on that, guys, and let's go over some of these sale items. Also, guys, one thing to note, you'll see these ponds, they definitely are not clear, and this is with intention. This pond is green, and over here, this pond is brownish green. That is intentional. That is allowing for a couple things. One, it helps us maintain temperature in these ponds. A perfectly clear pond is going to cause us several issues. One major issue is algae control. If these ponds are clear, these ponds are absolutely full of algae, which is a huge issue. Another thing is the green water. That signifies that there's a lot of minerals and fertilizers in that water. And what that does is allows bugs to come in and utilize that. They're eating all that green water, that those little tiny phytoplankton and things in that water, those little bugs eat, which we want in our ponds because that allows our tiny baby fish to eat those little bugs. So a lot of times our ponds aren't crystal clear, and that is with intention. If they are getting clear, we intentionally add fertilizer, just a small amount, just to green that pond up and bring back all those bugs and all those nutrients that help us grow these fish. So that's pretty cool. So let me read some of these sale items for you guys. And I am actually not seeing like any fish right now. All of our ponds are nice and green. All of our ponds are also a little warm right now. So a lot of the fish went down. Our temperatures here in Florida, in Lakeland, Florida, have been in the mid to upper 90s. So it's been pretty warm. Dr. Q, I'll answer that question. How do you manage predators from cleaning out your ponds? Okay, that's a good question. So one is our presence. Our presence is a big one. And then for ease, I am not going to turn this camera around. I am just going to turn around and hopefully you guys can see it behind me. All right, guys, see that cannon right there? So right here, you got this red cannon and a propane tank. That is what we like to call a bird cannon. That's going to be our biggest issue as birds. That thing, all that does is it emits a very large boom, and it's sporadic. It's not on now. If it was on now, guys, I wouldn't be sitting next to it because it catches you off guard no matter how long you work around them. They'll make you jump every time. But it's a really loud boom, and it's designed to keep the birds away, and that is a safe way for everyone around and for the birds to get rid of them. As you can see, you probably can't see too well. I'm going to turn you guys around slowly, but back over here, there's homes. Back over here, there's homes. There's homes here. So this is one of our warehouses. So there's homes all around us. We have to be safe. We have to be mindful of that. And also we have to be mindful of the natural animals that live here. So a lot of it is being ahead of it and just trying to discourage those animals from being here. So that's the main part of it. So really, that's us being around keeps 99% of stuff away. Raccoons do come at night. That can be a problem inside of our greenhouses, but we just have to make sure we lock up and just deter them, which is usually works 99.99% of the time. So really, this this facility has been here for a very long time. I believe it's since 1970. Um, Let me see. It actually says, I believe, yeah. So since 1970, and they've developed ways to discourage animals from coming here. All right, so let's go over these sale items. We're getting kind of long here. So first item, we have BOGO on the trio of neon swordtails. So that's going to be buy one trio of the swordtails. You're going to get two trios, which is going to be two males, four females. If you're not familiar with BOGO, that means buy one, get one free. I know sometimes some people don't even realize what that means. So yeah, buy one, you'll get one for free. Uh, Next is going to be the BOGO Fire Ant Tetra. Now, wow, guys, that's really cool. I didn't realize that. So Fire Ant Tetras, it's going to be individuals. So it'll be one Tetra. If you purchase one, you'll receive two Tetras. Now, I highly recommend to do the right thing and don't buy just one Tetra so you have two. Try to get a group of at least 10. Tetras love to school and they act so much better. The bigger the school, the happier they're going to be. The more, the more you're going to see their natural behaviors, and it creates a really nice aesthetic, especially if you get a nice school of fish and they're just swimming back and forth in your tank. It also calms the other fish in your tank down. When all these fish, they come from the same kind of areas, and if you have a school of fish schooling up top, your cichlids, your plecos, your catfish underneath are also going to recognize, hey, it's safe, hey, it's calm, I can act normal, I can come out and eat, when the tetras up top are acting how they should. Next, we have BOGO on our sorted 3-pack of 1 to 2 inch peacocks and hats. So our assorted 1 to 2 inch peacock and hat package of 3. So you buy 3, one package of 3, you'll receive 6 fish. And then we have our Gold Dust Molly 3-packs as well. So that will be buy 1 pack of 3 Gold Dust Mollies, you'll receive 6 fish. And then Florida crayfish. So the native crayfish to our area, those guys are going to be on BOGO. So you buy 1 to 2 inch crayfish, you'll receive 2. And then next, these items are going to be on a percent discount. Usually it's 50%, but it can be anywhere from 50 to usually about 30% depending on the fish. Most of the time it's 50% off. So here we have our smoky Pinoy angelfish at 3 to 4 inches. Next, the red tiger lotus. So that's going to be buy 1 plant, receive 2 plants free. So that hurt. I misspoke there, guys. Buy 1 plant, receive 2 plants. So you're going to buy 1 plant, receive 1 plant free. And then longfin green dragon bushy nose, 1 to 2 inches. So that's a BOGO, or that's, guys, I am messing this up. I'm going too fast. Those aren't BOGO items. Let me start over. Smoky Pinoy angelfish. Those 3 to 4 inches, those are going to be on 50% off. The red tiger lotus, those are going to be 50% off. I am sorry if I got you excited. I was misspeaking. I was getting excited and I was just rambling on. Next, long fin green dragon bushy nose at 1 to 2 inch. Those are going to be on sale at 50% off. And then we have our albino Madoka white lips, 3 to 4 inch unsexed. So those are not sexed yet. They're just at the cusp of being able to be sexed, but typically the Madokas, we can't sex them. So that's going to be the albino Madokas, 3 to 4 inches. Those will be at 50% off. And then finally, our 12-pack of mixed shrimp. Those will be at 50% off. Now, there are a couple new fish I wanted to cover. not necessarily new, but maybe newly available, or just some fish I want to highlight. And that's going to be a pretty cool one. They look really cool. Unfortunately, we only have 3 of them in the warehouse, and that is going to be the lip, the Rio Jingu lip brooder whiptail. They look really cool, but there's only 3 of them. Unfortunately, they don't have the really long trailers that they can display at this moment. I'm unsure if they're going to grow in or if they were damaged before we received them, but they never had that really long whiptail, like the extra long trailers. But those are going to be on the website, if not already. But like I said, we only have 3 of them. The other thing is going to be the Taniachromis folitania. So that is going to be a nice hap that's new to us. Those are going to be on the website. And then also another new one is the clown goby cichlid. Those are nice sand sifting kind of bottom dwelling that act like gobies. Those are from Lake Tanganyika. They can be pretty predatory. They when they're getting in spawning mode, they get really cool and they build really big kind of pits, and they protect that area pretty fiercely. So that's a really cool one, guys. I want to cut it off right here for the giveaway. So we're gonna announce the winning numbers really quick. This is probably going to be backwards if I show it to you front screen, so I'm going to turn you guys around. So Carly already has the number, so I'm sure she already knows who won. She's probably been scrolling looking for you guys. But turn this around, turn this off. So contest is cut off. So the winners, guys, let me get this in screen. So YouTube, I can't get this centered. YouTube is going to be 75. And Facebook is 134. So those are our winning numbers today. Carly should shortly be tagging you guys, and we'll post you on the screen as the winners. So if you did win, congratulations. I'll announce them when Carly does. Make sure you just email us at fish@Imperial Tropicals, and we will make sure you get your $25 store credit, one for our Facebook winner and one for our YouTube winner. So guys, you've been hearing this water. This pond had just been cleaned, and it is now filling back up. So when we clean these ponds, we leave them empty, and that ensures that no potential fish get left behind, and we end up with accidentally hybridizing fish or anything. But yeah, so this pond was just emptied, and this is what they look like when they are relatively low. This pond is already filled up, maybe 1/4 of the way, maybe 1/8 of the way, somewhere between there. But this is what our ponds look like when they're relatively low. There's another one right here. This one has more water in it already, and this is actually a significantly bigger pond over here. So here is our other tractor over there. And then right next door to the tractor, let's take a quick look at our seine net. And let's talk about how we catch these fish. If you guys have never seen it, this great big net with 2 poles on it. We have a pole here, and the net spans about 30 feet. And then there's another pole on the other side. Let's get off this golf cart and get a closer look at him. So let's start at the bottom. At the bottom of these nets, there are I don't know if they're lead weights, but there are weights down at the bottom. And you'll see every so often there's a weight, there's a weight, there's a weight. This keeps the net on the bottom of the pond. Now over here at the top of the net, we have floaties, and this keeps the net floating at the top of the pond. Now this allows us to catch a lot of fish at once, and you'll have 2 people manning the net. So you'll have one person holding this pole, the other person holding that pole, and we stretch it out And we typically what we'll do is lower the pond level, and we'll start on one end of the pond, walk across all the way across, and catch as many fish as we need. That's pretty cool. I'm trying to do a live feed with you guys at some point during the week when we seine these fish in. Unfortunately, it never lines up because during the week is when we're the busiest. But on Thursdays and Fridays, we do not seine fish in from our ponds. The reason is we're not here very long on the weekends to look after these fish. So we do have somebody who comes on the weekends and cares for all of our fish, but there is not enough hands on deck and time for that person to take care of any fish that we brought in from the ponds. So we got our winners here. So James Randall is the lucky Facebook winner. So congratulations, James. And then Tito Brumfeld is our YouTube winner. So James and Tito, email us at fish@imperialtropicals.com. We're going to ask you a few basic questions just to verify it's you, and then we'll get you your store credit. Now, guys, just know that that is $25 store credit. We still ask that you meet our store minimum to ship orders. But if you're local, you can come in and spend all of that, and there won't be an issue. There's no minimums at that point. But now here is another one of our seine nets, guys. This one is a shorter net. This one it looks about 12 feet long. So this is our smaller net that we use in smaller ponds or ponds with less water. So, guys, I am turning this around. I want to touch on some things before we get out of here today. A lot of cool things going on. Also, there is progress going on in the new warehouse right over there. So we can talk about that before we head out. So the new warehouse has been getting a lot of work. We finished the second new rack, but it's not finished. But the frame, the wood of it is built. We still have to drill all of the aquariums. We still have to plumb for air. We still have to plumb for water. So it's still a long ways away, but we are making progress slowly but surely. It's very consistent. So that's really exciting. Another thing I wanted to remind you guys of is the new Imperial Tropical swag. Not only do we have our t-shirts and hats on the website, we now have the koozies, we have the pens. Those are affordable. They're really easy to fit in your box too. So the pens and the koozies, I think they both run at $1.99 each. So if you're looking for something to just add on, or maybe you're close to your total, but you didn't quite make it to that $50 minimum, add that to your cart. We got the stickers on the website too. They're just a little sticker. They're clear with white with our logo on it, and they're about 2 inches, I believe. I think they're about this big. Those are pretty cool. So if you're close, you don't have room for the fish, but you're close to shipping and you just want to get it shipped to you, you want to meet that order minimum, those are easy ways to do it. And also make sure you check out our sales page. So that's going to go from today at 1 o'clock to next Friday at 1 o'clock. After that, those sale items are done for that week. We might run those sale items again, but we try to spread it out so we're not doing the same thing too often. We like to be able to make sure we hit everybody's interests and keep it fun for everybody. So yeah, guys, that's pretty much going to be it for today. Thank you guys for joining. Sorry we didn't see too many fish in the field. It is way too hot. Unfortunately, I didn't think that through, but at least we got to see those really cool peacock bass at the beginning. Those guys are feisty. Hopefully those eggs hatch. We just pulled them today, and we're probably looking at 300 to 500 fry that we're going to be able to put into a pond in the next week or two. So thank you guys. We're going to catch you next week. Be sure to stay tuned. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see how business goes. But if business slows down a bit, I'm going to make time to get out here in this field during the week, and we are going to seine some ponds, and you guys are going to see us catch some fish live. I hope I can make that happen for you. So thank you guys. We're going to catch you next week, and see you later.